So starting by introducing myself, my name is Mike Gross and longtime client of Aaron's. And as a professional, I'm in sales. I've done tech sales most of my career. If you go back far enough, I'm an engineer and met Erin through LinkedIn. She actually reached out to me and um, I found it intriguing enough to have a first conversation with her, and the relationship kind of blossomed from there. You want any other details about how that works?
Yeah, so what were your hesitations before working with me?
Uh, I grew up not really thinking about therapy, coaching, and just kind of like personal development as something that was a priority. It found it was always a how can you look at yourself to improve yourself and manage that? And I'd gone through significant personal challenges with the loss of my wife, who passed away from cancer, and I was just in a difficult space. And for the first time in my life, I didn't feel like I could really overcome the emotions just by myself, and felt like maybe it would be a good idea to talk to somebody about it. And so the timing was really unique from that standpoint. Uh, but the connection that we made almost immediately was critical, I think, in wanting me to move forward. And I find that most people don't like to share their challenges and what they're going through. And I was in that same boat. I wasn't sharing anything with anybody, and I was just trying to own it myself. And Aaron made a safe place for me to be able to do that, and found it incredibly helpful.
What specific results did you feel like you got working with me?
I think, I mean, the best thing that I was able to do with my relationship with Aaron was look at myself and, number one, not judge myself. That helped with the guilt that I've always had around the significant events that have happened in my life. I always took ownership of challenges, and sometimes that's great, but I've also realized that sometimes that can have a negative effect on you. And so it allowed me to look at myself in a certain way that I never really had. But I think it beyond that took that not just internally on myself, but also externally to others, and realized not everything is black and white. There's not necessarily a right and wrong to situations. Sometimes situations just are. And you can realize that and accept that, and in a lot of ways appreciate that. It allowed me to stop judging situations and almost putting uh, somebody is doing the wrong thing. And it's just not true. And I've learned that through Aaron, and it's been really, really helpful for me in not just my relationships with myself, but my relationship with other loved ones and whatnot from there.
So, who do you think you would recommend my services to? Like, who would benefit?
Uh, I think there's a lot of people can benefit from this type of service. And there's not necessarily just somebody who has had a significant event in their life that has been challenging, whether it's the loss of a loved one, you lose your job, situations like that bring to the surface emotions and challenges that pretty much all of us are facing and dealing with on a daily basis. And for me, while those significant events, uh, you need to deal with them, and probably sooner than later, because uh, challenges in your day to day are going to be surfaced very quickly, and Aaron can help with that. But I actually think that anybody that's not entirely satisfied, or I don't know what the right word is, but it's just like somebody that's not completely happy with themselves and their relationships with others, I think will see the world a little bit different working with Aaron, and can see a lot of benefits with that. And I literally, every time that I would have a challenge, or I'd listen to somebody that had a challenge, I would take ideas and things that I've learned and say, what I've learned over the years, and basically was reiterating what Aaron and I had talked about the idea that not everything's black and white. Not everybody is right or wrong. Sometimes things just are, and that's okay. Um, your reaction is what's important. And so I think anybody that, in a sense, is just not as completely happy with themselves or their current situation would benefit from working with him.